Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Guys, today we're going to dive into the altcoins. What I want to do is encourage you to take a look at this altcoin with an open mind, okay? I know what you want to hear. Everybody wants to hear that their coin is going to 50x, 100x. I get it. I want to hear that too, okay? But listen to me. I've been through 3 bull markets and I'm now in my 3rd bear market, okay? And I'm not saying I'm always correct, okay? But I know how these things go, okay? We're going to look at the coin from a technical standpoint. How many of you a few weeks ago, as your coin was going up 60, 70, 100%, was listening to the influencers telling you this time is different, super cycle, Bitcoin dominance is headed down, alt season is here, blah, 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 blah. And today your coin is probably down 50%. Okay, don't listen to the noise. Okay, we're going to look from a technical standpoint. Okay, I don't know about your fundamentals of your coin. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. We can't predict what may happen later, what partnerships may come in, what scandals may come up. We can't predict those types of things, but what we can predict and know for a fact are things like tokenomics, circulating supply, technical analysis. Those things don't change. So we can look at it from a technical standpoint and take a realistic approach to what this coin might do. If anything comes later, like some sort of hopium or some sort of deal or some sort of thing like that in the economy with your coin, where it gets worldwide mass adoption, great, that's a bonus. But be prepared for less, okay? Or be prepared for a more realistic target. The biggest mistake I made in my first cycle was listening to everyone else who said that my coin was going to 50, 60x. And as I sat here and watched it 10 and 15x, which was great, I didn't take profit because I was waiting on that 50x because I believed the narrative. And I wound up writing that coin all the way back down and round tripping it, right? I learned from that mistake. If you're not at least open-minded to hearing what a conservative approach would be, then you're only showing your inexperience in this market. So don't be inexperienced. If you are inexperienced, at least try to learn, okay? If I think your coin's going to 100x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 5x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 0, I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to keep it real with you. I know I could get way more clicks by just coming in and shouting 100x, but that's not going to serve you anything good in the future. So let's take a realistic approach to these coins, and we'll see if we can figure out where a good bull market top is going to be. Let's take a look at the charts. Here we go. All right, y'all, taking a look at Render here. I'm looking at Render on the daily time frame on the Binance chart. Render actually goes back to about 2020. We're going to take a look at the full chart here in just a bit, but I've got price action going back to 2011. That allows me to see the last bear market and most recent bull market, which is pretty much all we need for what we're going for here. Again, we're looking at tokenomics and technical analysis, market cap, things like that, not fundamentals, okay? So with Render, you set a price all-time high of $13.75 in March of 2024. At the time, you had a market cap of $4.5 billion and a circulating supply or number of coins in the market of 327 million. Okay, pay attention. Here's where we're going to talk dilution. Fast forward a few months to December of 2024, and you set a market cap all-time high of $5 billion. So that was 500 million more than your price all-time high, okay? However, price, even though you had more money from investors in Render at this time, price only went to 1188, which is about 20% less than your price all-time high. Why is that? Because you actually had about 100 million more coins in circulation at that time. You had a token unlock, had about 100 million more, so more money in the coin, although you had more coins equals a lesser price, okay? That is price dilution, okay, or diluting the market with coins. Fast forward to today, and we're looking at a price of about $1.65, 518 million coins on the market, and $856 million market cap. Fast forward even further to Q4 of 2029, which is what we estimate to be the next cycle's high. Bitcoin topped in October of 2025, 4-year cycle, Q4 2029. If your altcoin tops a little sooner or a little later, this could be slightly different, but we have no way of knowing that, so we can only guesstimate, okay? So this could be a little off, but it's going to be pretty close to the number of coins on the market. You're going to have 625 million coins on the market compared to 327 at price all-time high. That is a 91% increase, almost a doubling of coins on the market. Okay. With that, your market cap would have to reach 8.6 billion for your all-time high price of 13.75. So you hit a all-time high price at 4.5 billion. Well, now you're going to have to reach 8.6 billion to hit that same all-time high. Your market cap all-time high, however, in December hit a $5 billion all-time high. If you just come back and match that all-time high of $5 billion on your market cap, your price is going to be $8, okay? So if you don't do any better than you did last cycle, if you just match that, you're going to have an $8 render, which is not terrible from current price. However, I do think you're going to get a shot at lower prices. I'll tell you one thing I really, really like about render. Let me switch over to the full chart of render. This goes all the way back to 2020. This is one of the few coins. There's actually very few out there that this coin has never set a macro lower low, and between two cycles, it has also set macro higher highs. So you're trending higher and you're not taking as much drawdown. Even on this nasty October 10th wick here, where you came all the way down to 55 cents, you still did not take out the previous cycle bear market low. So as of now, you're still holding a bullish uptrend, right? So what can you expect in the bullish uptrend? Higher highs, higher lows. So what we're going to expect here is a higher low to come in somewhere in here, and then a higher high on the next cycle. Does it have to happen that way? No, but we're going to anticipate that. The trend is up. The trend is bullish, and until that breaks, we're going to ride the trend. Okay, now I do think you're going to come a little lower. Almost all coins, let's go back to Binance. Almost all coins have recovered their October 10th wick, okay? The October 10th wick low for render comes in at about, on Binance, at about 50, right about 50 cents. Now, I don't know if you come all the way back down to 50 cents. It would be a heck of a support area. You can see the support you have down here. But I just don't know that you come back that low, and that's okay. You don't have to recover it. 99.99% of altcoins have recovered, fully recovered their October 10th wick low. However, I'm not so sure you do, and I'm not so sure you need to get a good return on investment. Let's look at what I predict, okay? Throwing on a value area range for this entire, or volume profile for this entire area, you came literally down to the point of control and bounced, okay? So I could literally see you coming down to about $1 coming down here. That would be, if Bitcoin rolls over, say, in the fall of this year, you could come down and sweep these lows that you set in March. In February, you set a low of $1.12, and I could see render coming and taking that out, creating some good weekly bullish divergences. So you get a price, maybe not that deep, maybe a price. You could come all the way and get that wick, but anything around $1, and I think is really, really good. And I predict that you set a new high in the bull market. I think you set a $10 billion market cap and just barely take out your relatively equal highs up here at the top, and you go to $16. So if you can get this price for somewhere around $1, maybe lower, even better, I think you could get yourself about a 1,500% return on your investment. Even if you just return to market cap all-time high, if you just did what you did last cycle with market cap and you go to $8, then you're still, that's the wrong drawing. If you go from $1 to $8, you can do the math. 1 times $8, that's an 8x. You could still get yourself an 8x return on your investment if you looked for an entry somewhere around $1. That is, in my opinion, and you could certainly come lower, but you're holding it really well here. While most coins have come and taken out their February and March lows, render is holding it really well. So good coin. I would target about $1. I do think you come later this year, probably in October-ish, and you take out this low that's set in February, create good bullish divergences on the weekly time frame, aim for a higher high because you do have bullish macro market structure, and I think that is our target, guys. If you found this video useful, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We are going to continue to do render updates as well as other altcoin updates along the way. We're going to see how this plays out, and we'll make adjustments on the fly if we need to. Drop a comment down below. Give me your altcoin. I will take a look at it. I will give you your tokenomics, circulating supply, market cap, and my prediction. I'll see you guys next time.